psychological wisdom in having the embodiment, the personification of evil. How so? Because when you want to overcome a personal problem, when you have committed a major mistake, a major crime, in this environment and complex, the psychologists say you can't continue to blame yourself for a past mistake. You have to let go and move on, right? In our case, we don't have to just let go. We can easily and factually and correctly blame Iblis for a sin that we have done. And it is correct, Iblis was the one who misguided us, who gave us waswasa, and use that blame in order to make ourselves empowered to move on to live better lives. Now I have to be clear here. We do not blame Iblis in a court of law. We cannot blame Iblis on the Day of Judgment. It's not going to work. But we can blame Iblis in our personal journey to Allah, in our reflections of our own past, and we think about what we've done and we say, astaghfirullah, that wasn't me. I'm better than that. I shouldn't have done that because that wasn't coming from me. That was from Iblis and the whisperings of Iblis. And if I can cut off Iblis, I can eliminate Iblis, then I am a better person with the help of Allah. And that is factually true. That is factually true. When we have an entity that we can legitimately blame for our own shortcomings of the past, again, this is not a justification of the current. It is not an excuse of the future. Iblis is not going to be able to be blamed on the Day of Judgment. Doesn't work that way. But in this dunya, in our journey to Allah, we are not only allowed to, the Quran and Sunnah shows us, we blame Iblis, listen to me carefully, for a past mistake or sin in order to rectify ourselves, in order to overcome and be better people. When Musa accidentally asked Khidr that question, Musa made the condition, Khidr made the condition, don't ask me anything. And Musa asked. The first time he asked, he said, don't blame me, shaitan caused me to forget. وَمَا أَنْسَانِيهُ إِلَّا الشَّيْطَانِ. This is Yusha and Musa, the story of Yusha and Khidr and Musa. Don't blame me, shaitan caused me to forget. When Yusuf and his brothers had a fight, and his brothers did what they did, Yusuf being the wise prophet, how did he recover? How did he bring about unity? He said, shaitan caused you all to do this. It wasn't from you. مِن بَعْدِ أَن نَزَغَ الشَّيْطَانُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ إِخْوَتِي. Now question, who threw Yusuf in the well? The brothers or shaitan? Well, it was the brothers, but who whispered it to them? Who زَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ? Who beautified it? Clearly it was shaitan. Now that Yusuf wants to mend the hearts, now that we need to move forward, we can bring in this third party called Iblis. We can say, that's not you, you're better than that. That was Iblis, and you're correct. You're factually correct. When you blame Iblis, this is passing the responsibility of a past sin. You still have to make them in the eyes of Allah in order that you rectify yourself. And what a beautiful, amazing psychological blessing. You are better than this, brothers and sisters. Wallahi, you're better than this. Something happened in the past that is shameful. You committed a sin that really causes you pain. Well, it's good it causes you pain. It's good it causes you shame. But guess what? You need to stop just blaming yourself and realize, yes, Iblis was involved and you can be better. And your addiction, that's coming from Iblis. That evil that you did, that harsh statement that you said, the physical pain that you caused, the stealing that you did, the sharab, the khamr, everything that you did, it was Iblis's fault. Now be better. Cut him out of your life. Stand up and be a worshipper of Allah. Turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and blame that evil. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Blame him because you are a better person. This is a beautiful wisdom in the creation and in the manifestation of this entity, because لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Allah created us good, Allah created us high up, and then shaitan waswas and shaitan misguides. So we get rid of shaitan and we come back to the ahsani taqweem. And many other wisdoms can be mentioned as well. The next point of our khutbah, what are some of the tactics of shaitan? What are some of the ways that he uses to cause us to commit a mistake? Well, the first of them is the gentlest one, and because it is so gentle, Allah Azza wa Jal has forgiven it if Iblis is successful. And that is the way of forgetfulness, the way of causing us to not remember something. And I quoted you the story of Yusha and Musa. When Yusha forgot to take the fish out at the right time, right? When Yusha forgot the sign, then he says, look, وَمَا أَنْسَانِيهُ إِلَّا الشَّيْطَانُ وَنَذْكُرَ. Shaitan caused me to forget. And at times shaitan causes you to oversleep Fajr. And at times shaitan causes you to do things you don't intend to do them. Well, if it's accidental, if you really forgot, then Allah forgives you, you just make it up in your personal life. There's no sin on you. But this is of the tactics of shaitan. You're supposed to pray dhuhr. You look at the time and say, oh, 2 hours left, inshallah, I'll pray. Then shaitan comes, check this email, do this, do that. Next thing you know, it's out of time, it's asr time. Astaghfirullah, I missed it. If you genuinely had the intention, this is a tactic of shaitan. Blame shaitan, say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim, take precautions for next time, and then move on. But this is of the tactics of Iblis. Of the tactics of Iblis is to catch you at a point of weakness, to see, monitor. Maybe you metaphorically put your foot on a slippery slope, and perhaps it would have been good enough if you did it, but Iblis knows it's a slippery slope, and right when it was a slippery slope, he pushed you a little bit more. Of course, I'm being metaphorical here. You were in a situation of weakness, and if you were on your own, you would have overcome that weakness. But Iblis comes, and Iblis pushes you, metaphorically. Iblis causes you to slip. Allah says in the Quran about the battle of Uhud, and about the fact that some of the companions withdrew when they should not have withdrawn. Allah says, إِنَّمَا اسْتَزَلَّهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ Shaitan caused them to slip, meaning they put their foot on a place they shouldn't have. But if shaitan were not there, it would have been good enough, they would have moved on. But shaitan saw a weakness, a moment where you let your guards down a little bit, just a little bit. You could have overcome, but shaitan monitored, shaitan saw, and all of a sudden he pushed you more. This is istazalla, this is zalla, this is a mistake that is a one-off. Well, you learn from the mistake and you move on. The third tactic, which is the most common tactic of shaitan, is waswasa. And waswasa means to whisper into our soul, to give us ideas and thoughts that we would not otherwise have. Waswasa here means he will literally implant ideas that we would otherwise not have. Every one of us, sometimes we think of something and then we say, astaghfirullah, where did that idea come from? Where did this evil thought come from? And it is not from us. It is shaitan putting ideas into our heads. Shaitan has the capacity, shaitan has the physical capability of whispering into our soul. Just like humans can whisper into the ear, shaitan can whisper into the soul. Shaitan cannot read your mind, by the way. Shaitan cannot read your mind. But shaitan can see you're alone and you have the opportunity to steal some money. Waswasa. You're alone and there might be a non-mahram. Waswasa. You're alone, or whatever it might be.